To score a goal is Sidney Crosby in every single NHL game. Starting in NHL 07, Sidney Crosby is going to be starting at 93 overall. And technically, yes, this would be his second season, but in NHL 06, I couldn't find him in the game, so I'm assuming he wasn't put into the game until NHL 07. For our first game, Sidney Crosby is going to be taking on the New Jersey Devils, the team he scored his first ever points against and the first team he ever played. So while I line up for the face-off here, let's just take a look at what the graphics look like. This is what Sidney Crosby looked like in his very first NHL game. I can't wait till we get to the end and then see what he looks like. In this first period, I couldn't get anything going, and we're down 1-0 going into the intermission. But here we are just 3 minutes into the period. Sidney Crosby, he's getting the puck around the net. He's going to get a backhander off. It's going to deflect off Martin Brodor's stick, and that's in the back of the net. So just like that, we're off the PlayStation 2 and we're on to the PlayStation 3 and NHL 08. Here we are in NHL 08 where Sidney Crosby's sitting at 93 overall. I would say that's a pretty fair rating, seeing as he had 120 points last season. And for this game, we're going to be taking on the Ottawa Senators, the team that eliminated Pittsburgh in the playoffs in 2007. So immediately jumping into NHL 08, you can immediately tell a graphical difference. The players look a lot more crisp, and I can definitely tell you the controls, they feel way crisper. But that's not saying too much. So here we are with just 2 minutes left in the period. Sidney Crosby's getting the puck. He's going to do a nice toe drag here. He's getting between the defense, and he's going to beat Ray Emery. Not going to lie, that toe drag, that's kind of glitchy. I created so much space off that. Here we are in NHL 09 where Sidney Crosby's sitting at 96 overall. This dude's looking elite. Of course, he had 72 points in 53 games last year. I would say that's pretty good. In the playoffs, the Penguins ended up losing to the Detroit Red Wings in the Stanley Cup final, but that didn't stop Crosby from picking up 27 points in 20 games. But Pittsburgh wanted to get their revenge, and in 2009, the Pittsburgh Penguins won the Stanley Cup, defeating the Detroit Red Wings in 7 games, so I feel like it's only fitting this is the team we take on. So in this first game I played against Detroit, I couldn't get anything going, and Datsuk ended up scoring the OT winner, so we're not going to score in this game. But I do want to point out the OT celebration here. We're in NHL 23 and we don't have any of this. All we have is the players jumping over the bench. They had a whole different animation if you score in overtime. With just 6 minutes left in the period, Crosby's getting a good chance, but he's going to be ringing this one right off the crossbar. So here we are just a few minutes later. Crosby, he's sitting low in the zone. He's going to get the puck, and he's going to snipe this one right past Chris Osgood. There wasn't too much space there, but hey, it was enough for Crosby, so he's going to score on that one. Here we are in NHL 10, where Sidney Crosby's sitting at 94 overall. He had a pretty solid season last year, picking up 33 goals and 70 helpers for 103 points in 77 games. And for this game, we're going to take on the Montreal Canadiens since we lost them in the second round in 2010. Crosby was not messing around in this game. He's picking the puck up around the boards. He's cutting towards the middle, and he's going to get an extremely weak backhander off, but it's going to beat Carey Price. So I don't really care how weak the backhand is. I don't care how weak the goal is. It's a goal, and we're off to the next game. Here we are in NHL 11, where Crosby's sitting at 93 overall still, and for this game, we're going to be taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning since we lost them in the first round. Also, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. I just passed the Calgary Flames in YouTube subscribers, and now we got a new challenger, the Philadelphia Flyers. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and turn notifications on so you can be notified of when I upload. Man, look at the on-ice presentations here. If only NHL 23 had on-ice presentations like this. Oh, I forgot they do. They just don't work 90% of the time. And that was the main selling point for their game. So here we are in the second period with 6 minutes left. Sidney Crosby, he's sitting in the slot. He's trying to create some space, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to get a shot off, and he's beating the goaltender. Here we are in NHL 12, where Crosby's jumping up an additional overall, and now he's sitting at 94. And for this game, we're going to be taking on the Philadelphia Flyers. So here we are with just a few seconds left in the period. Crosby, he's coming down with the puck, and honestly, I think there might have been a slashing call here, because something happened where Crosby ended up losing control of the puck, and he definitely would have scored on that goal. So here we are just 30 seconds into the second period, and Crosby, he's going to get a shot off. It's in the back of the net, but he's picking up a goaltender interference call. Little did I know, this goaltender interference call almost led to the greatest goal in NHL history. So Jordan Staal's got the puck. There's about 5 seconds left in the penalty. From center ice, he's going to flip it in. This is going to go over the goalie's head and hit the top of the crossbar. If I was about 2 feet further back, I think I would have scored there. That could have been the greatest goal in NHL history. But here we are in the second period. Sidney Crosby, he's winning the face-off. He's going right to the slot. He's going to get the feed from Orpik, and he's going to bury this one in the back of the net. It's not as nice of a goal as Jordan Staal would have had, but hey, we'll take it. Here we are in NHL 13, where Sidney Crosby's sitting at 95 overall, and they finally updated the attribute system. 5 stars in shooting, 5 in puck skills, 5 in senses, 5 in skating, 4 in physical, and 5 in defense. I would say those are pretty fair ratings, and even looking at the puck skills, 95 across the board, you love to see it, you really do. And for this game, since we lost to the Boston Bruins in the conference finals in 2013, that's who we're going to be taking on. Just 2 minutes into the game, Crosby's not messing around. James Neal's bringing the puck up. Both of the defenders are going to focus on him. Crosby's setting up in the slot, and he's going to rip one right past Tuukka Rask. Here we are in NHL 14, the final game on the PS3. Sidney Crosby at 95 overall, 5 stars in shooting, 5 in puck skills, 5 in senses, 5 in skating, 4 in physical, and 5 in defense. I honestly don't think many of the attributes have changed, but it doesn't matter. Crosby's still elite. And for the final game on the PS3, minus 3, we're going to take on the New York Rangers. So here we are, 7 minutes left in the period. Crosby's bringing the puck in. He's going to do a little spin move. He's driving right to the slot. Nobody's even defending this man. He's going to get a shot off, and he's beating Henrik Lundqvist. Honestly, if they just played the slightest amount of defense, that probably doesn't go in the net. But they're not going to play defense, so we're going to capitalize on it. Here we are in NHL 15. We're on the PS4 now. Sidney Crosby at 96 overall, 5 stars in puck skills, 5 in senses, 5 in shooting, 5 in defense, 5 in skating, and 4 in physical. Those physical stats, I don't think they're ever going to change. I think that's going to be sitting at 4 stars for the rest of his career. The rest of those stats, they're looking elite, so it doesn't really matter too much. Since we just played the New York Rangers and I don't want to take them on again, we'll take on the Stanley Cup champion Chicago Blackhawks. Sid the Kid's got the puck here, and he's along the boards. He's going to do a bit of a toe drag. He's going right to the slot, and once again, nobody's playing any defense. Keep in mind, I have this on all-star difficulty. I don't know what's wrong with the defense, but hey, I'm going to capitalize on all these goals, and I'm going to bury them in the back of the net. Here we are in NHL 16, Sidney Crosby at 96 overall at 28 years old. Of course, he's got franchise potential. That should be no surprise. And of course, for this game, there's only one team to take on, the San Jose Sharks, the team that Pittsburgh beat so Sidney Crosby could hoist his second Stanley Cup. Let's get a goal against them. So here we are with just seconds left in the period. Kunitz is bringing the puck in. Crosby's taking it up. I don't know what kind of deke this is, but it looked nice. And we're going to bury one in the back of the net with just seconds left in the period. I don't know what it would look like, a reverse toe drag with the backhand. Hey, it doesn't matter. It's in the back of the net, and we're on to the next game. Here we are in NHL 17, where Sidney Crosby's at 95 overall, and his physical, it's actually up to 4.5 stars. So he's got 5 stars in puck skills, 5 in senses, 5 in shooting, 5 in defense, 5 in skating, and 4.5 in physical. He's almost the perfect hockey player. And since we took San Jose on in the last game, we got to take Nashville on, since we beat them in 2017, for Crosby to hoist his 3rd cup. So Crosby had a really great chance with 6 minutes left in the period. He's going to get a weak backhander off. It's going to roll towards the net, and Shea Weber's going to push it in, but for some reason the game's not allowing it to go in the net. Not too sure what's with that. In the second period, Sid the Kid, he's picking the puck up and he's skating around a bit. He's going to go behind the net. A nice little wrap around here, and he's going to beat Pecorine, but he's getting lit up in the process. Luckily, he's not hurt. He's getting up and celebrating. You love to see it. You really do. Jumping into NHL 18, Sidney Crosby, 30 years old, the 93 overall. He's declining slightly, but he's still a great player. We all know that. And for this game, we'll take on the Vegas Golden Knights. It's their first season in the league. They made a historic cup run. I want Crosby to score against them, and I also want him to score against Marc-Andre Fleury. So here comes Crosby. He's entering the zone. He's going to slow down a bit. This little deke here has the defense going 2 different directions. I don't know what I did. I just moved the left stick to the right and then came back left, and I just had the boys split up. Like, I don't know where they were going. Crosby's getting a goal here, and we're on to the next game. Jumping into NHL 19 at 31 years old, Sid the Kid, a 93 overall, franchise potential, of course. The stats, they're looking fantastic. So let's see who we're taking on. So in 2019, the Islanders are sweeping the Penguins in the first round, so Crosby wants to get his revenge. I also don't think I've played them yet. All right, we're going to talk about how Jake Getzel was selling here. It's basically a 2-on-1 at this point. Why are you skating towards Crosby? Skate the opposite way, force a pass over to Crosby, and he'll shoot a one-timer in the back of the net. But no, you wanted to skate right beside him. That doesn't really make too much sense if you ask me. But here we are just a few minutes later. Crosby, he's entering the zone. He's going to do a windmill deke. That's creating enough space for him, and he's going to launch a rocket right past Robin Leonard. I mean, it wasn't really a rocket, but hey, it's a goal, so we're counting it. Jumping into NHL 20, Sid the Kid, he's a 93 overall, of course. The stats are looking fairly similar, so we don't need to go over those. And for this game, we've already taken on Montreal, so I'm going to take on the Tampa Bay Lightning, completely forgetting that we already played this team. That's alright. They won the cup this season, so I think it's only fair we take them on again. So I'm going to be completely honest. I was absolutely selling in this game. Sid the Kid, he's got an opportunity with a few seconds left in the game for a breakaway. What was this breakaway attempt by me? I'm going to blame it on I was tired when I was doing this, but like, my god, that was just a horrible attempt. I don't know what I'm doing. So I decided to reset. Sid the Kid, he's bringing the puck into the zone. A bit of a stop and go move here. He's going to get the defense split, and he's sniping one right over Vasilevsky's glove. In NHL 21, Sidney Crosby, of course, he's a 93 overall, 33 years old, franchise potential, and the stats are looking fairly similar. No need to go over those. So at some point in this video, it had to happen. Sidney Crosby versus the Edmonton Oilers. It's Crosby versus McDavid. So I don't know what was wrong with me. I had about 7 breakaways in this game, and I didn't score any of them. Honestly, I think I'm washed. I mean, I guess in order to be washed, you have to be good at the game, so I'm not washed, I just suck. So here we are in the third period. Sid the Kid, he's coming down. He knows Mikko Koskinen's in net. He's not going to make a save here, so he's going to go short side over his glove, and we're heading to NHL 22. So here we are in NHL 22, Sidney Crosby, a 93 overall. The stats, they're looking the same as last year, except his skating. It's dropped to 4.5 stars. A washed king, you hate to see it. But this was the first year with X Factors, and he's got the zone ability, beauty backhand. So one of the next 2 goals will be a backhand. I'm going to make it a backhand. So for this game, we're going to be taking on the Colorado Avalanche, seeing as they won the cup in 2022. I saw the comments on the last video. I meant to say didn't win it in 2020. I messed it up. They won in 2022. So here we are in the second period. Crosby, he's going to beat the defender here, and he's just going to tuck one in right behind Darcy Kemper. Honestly, it wasn't a great goal, but who really cares? We're on to NHL 23 and the final game for this video. So we finally reached NHL 23. Sidney Crosby at 35 years old. He's a 93 overall. The dude's absolutely elite. 5 stars in puck skills, 5 in senses, 5 in shooting, 5 in defense, 5 in skating, and 4 in physical. His skating stats back to 5 stars. Good to see he's getting his respect. And of course, he's got the zone ability, beauty backhand. And since we didn't score a backhand the last game, we're scoring one in this game. So for this final video, we'll take on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Sidney Crosby versus Austin Matthews. These guys had to match up at some point. So in this game, I realized how broken the X factors are. I'm going to get a backhander off here, and this thing's an absolute rocket. There is no reason a backhander like that should be that quick and that powerful. But hey, it doesn't matter. It's in the back of the net, and Sidney Crosby, I've scored with you in every single game. So comment down below, who do you want to see next?